So I grew up as just a regular kid on the south side of Indy. Nothing spectacular, nothing special. It was quite boring growing up with an older brother who's 13 years older than me and went off to college when I went to first grade. So I was basically an only child. I met my ex-husband when I was 23, and that's when I thought my forever would happen. He was everything that I thought that I needed and wanted in my life. I thought God had finally came into my life and gave me the man that I needed. I couldn't have been more wrong. I started drinking very heavily with him just so that I could deal with him. I was drinking 7 days a week. Not necessarily every time I would drink would I get drunk, but I would have at least a pitcher of beer every time we would go out. For 7 years, I did that. There were times when I wouldn't be drinking, but for the most part, I drank on and off with him for the whole marriage. I walked away one random night. I didn't even know the date at the time. I called my cousin. My cousin said that she had a room for me and my dog, and I could run. I told her 2 hours, give me 2 hours. If you don't hear from me in 2 hours, call the cops. She said, okay. So I went back to my house after I dropped him off at a bar, packed all of my stuff, packed my dog, and I went to her house, never looking back. I woke up that Sunday morning. I had no idea what day it was, and she asked me, are you going to church? No, I wasn't planning on it. And she said, well, why don't you check out my church? And I was like, what's so great about your church? She said, well, the pastor, Danny, he's phenomenal. He could move mountains. I'm like, okay, sure. If you say so, I'll check it out. So 3 weeks later, I went to church with her on a Saturday at 4 o'clock for that service. And I've never looked back. I come every week without fail. I stopped and talked to Courtney out in the lobby one day. And I don't even remember why or how it came up, but she mentioned Celebrate Recovery. And at the time, I was still drinking to deal with my past traumas. But I was drinking every single day, 1 or 2 beers. And I knew that that was just too much for me. So she told me that I should check out Celebrate Recovery here at the church. So I went, and I met an amazing group of people in small group. The women that I've shared with, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. They've been through so many struggles in their own rights that they inspired me that I can get through all of my trauma, and that with God's help that I can do it. So I've been going to Celebrate Recovery every Tuesday night since I started and I got sober. I am now 147 days sober from alcohol, and I've never relapsed, which is an amazing feat in itself. I feel like God has pushed me to be the best that I could be. I feel that He has put me on this path to maybe even help just one person. If I could help just one person by telling my story, I know that I am fulfilling His thoughts for His plan for me.